they won't necessarily be hyper attracted to this man. And as a result, they don't ignite that desire in women. So they have a naivety about women. They start to think women are just non-sexual. Women won't have affairs. Women don't like that. They're not affectionate. So what that leads to is they allow their woman to kind of do whatever she wants, because in their mind, they think she would never have an affair. She doesn't even like sleeping with me. She doesn't like kisses. She doesn't like all of that thing. They don't realize they make her not like that. They make her, maybe with you, she might not like sex, or maybe with you, she might not like intimacy, but she's still an intimate person. So they might say, okay, yeah, no worries, you can go, stay over at your friend's house. I know you two are just close. Oh, you can go on holiday with that guy that you knew from your neighbor. It's fine. I know my wife. She would never touch him. She would never touch you, but she would touch him. And they become very naive. And as a result, these men tend to experience divorce without doing anything wrong. They haven't done anything. They haven't actually done anything bad to their partners. They're not like that guy that you hear that has been drinking and is aggressive. And they actually haven't done anything wrong, but they find themselves divorced or cheated on again and again and again. So this seems to be my number one cause of men suffering in relationships. Hi guys, thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful to be here and I'm so excited to meet you all. And please feel free to come and find me afterwards if you have any questions or anything you want to know, or if you're annoyed with me, because I know my content can be very triggering. But I hope you understand my intention is always to help you attract and maintain better relationships. So before we start, just so I understand, I've got this is correct? I use this? Yep. Okay, so just before we start, just to kind of warm you up in the mood, get you in the mood for relationship discussions, can I get you all to stand up? Now, could you tell me if you would divorce if you are no longer attracted to your partner? If the answer is yes, can you come over here? I know it's a bit tricky. If the answer is no, can you go over there? If you would divorce, if you're no longer, none of you would do anything? Okay, go. Come on, you can do it. Okay, perfect. If you're no longer, okay, good, some honest people, well done, good. Would you get divorced if you're no longer attracted to your partner? No? Okay. Perfect, we've got some honest answers. No, over here, you would not? Okay, in the middle? Fair enough. We could do it. Okay, perfect. Now, would you divorce if your partner has any kind of addiction? If they have alcohol, drugs, porn, any kind of addiction, would you get a divorce? Yes or no? I know it's hard for some of you in the middle to move around, but don't worry, mentally, would you divorce if it was? Okay. Why would you divorce if someone's got an addiction? What would you say? What are some of the reasons? Anyone mind saying what the reason? Yeah, over here. It can lead to abuse. Well done. Yeah, it can lead to abuse. Anyone? Okay, no, over here, you wouldn't get divorced over that? No? You'd help them. Okay, great idea. Next one. Would you get divorced if your partner is no longer intimate with you? If your partner has decided to no longer be intimate, would you get... The men are rushing. Okay, right, so... Okay. Okay. Why would you get divorced if they're no longer intimate? Tell me, boys. Then it's friendship. Okay, great response. Okay, over here, no? Girls, no? It's not, yeah, you can make it happen. Next one. Your partner refuses to work, but is still expecting you to do chores around the house. Would you get divorced over that? They refuse to work. You would? Okay, why is that, girls? It's too much? Okay. Okay, your partner refuses to work. Okay, next one. Your partner is having an emotional but not physical affair, okay? They're just having an affair, yes or no? Girls are running over here. Emotional affair? Guys, why don't you care about emotional affairs? No? What's wrong with you? Okay, men over here, women over here. Okay, girls, why would you divorce over an emotional affair? It's not physical. It's still cheating. Boys, why do you not care? Because it's not as intimate. Okay, no worries. What about if your partner's having a physical affair, but it's not emotional? They don't care about the person. They're just having a physical affair. How many of you would get divorced? No? Yes? What's worse, physical or emotional? Yeah. And would you divorce if your partner's unable to have children? Oh, that's nice. It's nice that you lie. Okay, then if you've had children, yeah, that's a great response. If you've had okay, fair enough. Okay, anyone say that they would get a divorce if that was the case? Okay, we're all liars, no worries. Okay, next one. Your partner is abusive, verbally but not physically. Verbally but not physically. Would you get a divorce? Why would you get a divorce if they're verbally abusive but it's not physical? I guess it's self-explanatory. It's coming. Yeah, it's coming. That's true. It's coming. Well done. Okay, thank you for that. You can take a seat. Thank you, guys. Take a seat. So, thank you for that. Now, what I wanted to do is highlight some of the obvious reasons why people think they're getting a divorce, okay? The main reasons people usually cite for a divorce is things like alcohol addiction, no intimacy, affairs, so on and so forth. But in my experience of working with hundreds of clients, thousands of clients, and having, all praise be to God, a reach on social media where I have millions and millions of people commenting, DMing me, so on and so forth, I get an insight into what's going on in the world and what's really causing a divorce. And from my research and from my personal experience, I've actually realized that it's not these big major things that you think is causing a divorce. Actually, I've narrowed it down to just 2 archetypes that tend to cause a divorce. Oh, sorry, before. And we're going to see if you fit those bills, okay? So we're going to play a quick game. So the first question. You meet someone that you really want to be with, but he or she says they just want to be friends. What do you do in that situation? Do you also pretend you want to be friends? Do you become friends hoping that one day they'll change their mind? You become friends but move on, so like you're not dating them anymore, or you decline their offer to be friends? What would you do in that situation? See, you become friends but move on? Has anyone ever pretended to be friends and just waited until they change their mind? Okay. And has anyone just declined and like said, I don't want to be friends? Okay. Next question is, your partner has gained weight and asks you if you can tell. Do you say, no, I can't tell at all? How many of you say that? How many of you will say, well, tell them they've gained weight, but they still look great? Yeah? How many of you will tell them that you're no longer attracted to them and you're going to have an affair? No? And anyone exaggerate how great they look because they don't want to hurt their feelings? Anyone do that? Yeah. Now, your partner has stopped being physically intimate with you. What is your reaction? Do you not notice, not care? Have no problem with that? Anyone? No? You begin to have an affair nicely? No? You have a conversation and make it clear that you need more intimacy? Would anyone do that? Yep. And you have a huge explosive fights which makes your partner even less attracted to you and you end up having less sex than you ever did. Anyone do that? Okay. Now, you see flirtatious messages between your partner and a mystery person. Do you confront them immediately? How many of you do that? Do you think about it and then discuss? Think about it. Do you avoid asking and pretend you haven't seen anything? No? And do you worry how you will explain to them how you caught them? Do you worry more about the fact that they might be angry that you were snooping? Anyone do that? Okay. And finally, how do you resolve fights? Do you say sorry to keep the peace? Anyone do that? Just say sorry, keep the peace? Yep. Do you wait for them to apologize? No. Do you take accountability but address what needs to be changed? Okay, perfect. And do you just avoid the confrontation? Anyone just avoid the confrontation? Okay. Now, if you answered along the lines I was kind of trying to avoid the conversations, avoid the confrontation, avoid any kind of emotional tensions, then you're probably the nice guy. Now, this, in terms of men, seems to be the #1 predictor of what leads to a failure of relationships. I know that we hear so much about the narcissist, we hear so much about the toxic guy, but we know about them. Yeah, we know that that's going to cause a divorce, and most women don't marry those men. They end up being with them for a bit of time, and then they figure them out, and they realize they can't be in a long-term abusive relationship. But this is the hidden killer, the nice guy. And here's what the nice guy essentially looks like. Firstly, I have yet to meet a nice guy that doesn't have some childhood concerns. And what I mean by childhood issues is usually they grew up in a broken home. Not necessarily broken, but they have some kind of disconnect with their father. At very least, they might have been that they had a very passive father. At the very extreme end, they had a very neglectful or abusive or alcoholic father, something along those lines, which made them over-identify with their mother. And what I mean by over-identifying with your mother is you assume your mother was correct in everything she said. And as a result, they become submissive to women in general. They tend to believe women in every way, shape, or form. And they really seek female approval. They disconnect with the males in their life, particularly their father, and then they seem to think that women essentially are the only people you should care about. Their approval matters more than anything. So they tend to have some kind of fathers and a mother. It doesn't mean anybody with a broken home. It's only when their mother was excessively a victim, when the mother took no accountability. She put her needs first, maybe blocked access, or maybe poisoned his mind against their father. It tends to be the making of a nice guy. What happens then is, because they don't have access to their father, or because they feel like if they speak to their father, their mom's going to be mad at them, they really tiptoe around female approval. They go into the real world thinking that as long as a woman approves of my behavior, that's the only thing I need in life. I need female approval. Male approval doesn't matter. But the problem is they learn about female approval from their mothers. And what makes your mother approve of you is not what women will approve of you. And what I mean by that is your mother wants somebody obedient. Your mother wants somebody who's non-confrontational. Your mother wants somebody who is passive. And she just wants someone who's non-sexual, of course, because it's her child. They take all of these skills and apply it to women in the real world. They'll be obedient. They'll be submissive, non-confrontational, and then non-sexual with women in the real world. As a result, they avoid confrontation like the plague with women. With men, they're not so bad. So you'll meet a lot of nice guys at work. They're very, very harsh, and they can be very stern with men. But with women, they avoid all confrontation. So what that looks like is they will ignore their own needs to ensure she approves of him, as long as she's happy. And they think, happy wife, happy life. Now, I know that sounds great, but unfortunately, you need to have more autonomy on what makes you happy rather than just submitting to partners, men and women. Submitting to your partner doesn't necessarily create happy life. It creates inauthenticity. So they avoid confrontation like the plague. And finally, then as a result of these behaviors, they have low sex appeal. Women are not attracted to submissive men. They're not attracted to obedient men. They can use them really well. They can use them because maybe they think, oh, at least he won't cheat on me, so I'll just pick him. Or at least he won't be in the club every night, I'll just pick him. Or at least he doesn't get a lot of girls, he won't cheat on me.
Welcome to my course on masculinity. And in this course, not only will I be able to completely transform your understanding of women, but on a more personal level, you will enhance your self-esteem, self-respect, and your boundaries. The goal of this course is to take a man that has absolutely fantastic intentions, wants to find love, wants to commit, wants to have a good, healthy relationship, but is finding that he's constantly running into women who are narcissistic, who are disrespectful, who are disloyal. Now, if you are finding that continuously, then there must be something in your engagement with women that is causing this. What my course will do is look at where this problem comes from, how to resolve it, how to communicate effectively with men and women, and how to command respect. Most importantly, how to improve your self-respect. And throughout the course, you'll be given interactive sessions, but with course materials to help you channel and journal your learning. So if you are interested in becoming the most masculine version of yourself, join today.